Investments, as I am not a financial advisor. Any and all content provided by me contains my own speculative opinion on the market. As such, this content should not be used to make trading or investment decisions. The market is extremely volatile, and the decisions you make should be based on your own due diligence. If you should make a trade or investment decision based off the speculative content that we provide, this disclaimer legally relinquishes me from any and all responsibility. Past market performance is not indicative of future market results. Trading in any market is extremely risky, and you should conduct your own research and analysis prior to making decisions. Well, Black Fire, welcome back to another beautiful Tuesday night, evening, Wednesday morning, whatever you want to call it. Welcome back to the channel. This is it. Thanks for watching. No. Not too much to discuss today as far as the surprise that I was mentioning in the study group chat. I'm trying to find different soundboards so I can kind of make the streams a little more interactive and friendly. I want to make funny noises when I see shit charts, so I want a soundboard that directly reflects my emotions towards good charts, bad charts, comments, questions, concerns, anything like that. So I did download something, but it wasn't the right thing. So hopefully, I can after this stream find something that will, make the page a little more enlightened, a little friendlier, whatever you want to call it. Bring a little bit of laughs and joy into the channel, because at the end of the day, why so serious? You know what I'm saying? But that's coming up. Hopefully, I want to give a shout out to my moderator, Kay Hillary. Thanks for keeping up on the the analysis request posts on the Facebook group chat and the channel. I do appreciate that. It's one less thing that I have to worry about in the morning. I do appreciate you basically just kind of hopping in, taking over that that aspect and fishing for some analysis requests, of which we do have plenty of today. We did get a few requests for some technical analysis here today. I want to take a sip of water. So without further ado, I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. Gotta love my 12.5-pound water bottle. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's look at what NASDAQ's doing. Yeah, continuation. Continuation is definitely what I was looking forward to here for this asset. The 1.272 Fibonacci extension level has more or less been met. I would consider this close enough. Is close enough. If this is all the further it wants to go up before seeing a little bit of a pullback, that would not be out of the question here. But there's a couple reasons why I'm thinking there is a little bit more continuation here. We do see stochastics curling back up, forcing that exponential back to a positive slope. Again, that coiling deep within the bullish critical zone here. I hate when I hear people say, "Oh, it's overbought, man. It's got to come down. It's overbought. It's got to come down." And dude, this has been in the critical zone, the overbought territory for NASDAQ since the freaking 30th of May, maybe even a little sooner than that, the 27th of May. We've been coiling around in this critical zone here for a month now, showing no signs, no real signs of major decline to as far as momentum is concerned to the downside here. I actually got the wrong indicator on. Give me 1 second. That is an indicator that I want to talk about here on Bitcoin today. But for now, we're going to stick with the moving averages here. Again, candles closing above all major moving averages. New all-time high set for NASDAQ coming into yesterday's candle closure. And that is a little bit of a sign for continuation. As far as how I'm looking at it, that's kind of what I'm looking for next. Obviously, I want to see the 1.272 taken out, and if we see the 1.272 taken out, and that's around 14,340, I will be looking for extensions all the way up to the 1.414, right around the $14,500 region. Nice, powerful move. A nice, powerful run that NASDAQ has been on. Technology is clearly the leader. Continuing to set new all-time high after new all-time high. Very powerful stuff here. Now, if we see a candle closure below this region here, 14,200, back test to the red 10 simple would be kind of like my first target here. Not that, not too significant of a move, but anything lower than the red 10 simple, I'm going to start playing level by level until we get to the yellow 21 moving average here, right around 13,935, give or take a few bucks. Again, a little bit of a pullback. not out of the question, but right here is our last, no, right here is our last low. So yeah, even a pullback to this region just below the red 10 simple wouldn't be out of the question. It wouldn't raise any concerns as far as the daily bullish structure is concerned. And continuation. I'm looking for continuation for this until proven otherwise. RSI looking very constructive, positive slope on that exponential. Again, I use that positive slope on the exponential very, very, very heavily in my analysis. It really catches a lot of the moves, whether it's an uptrend or a downtrend. Typically, when I watch the positive exponential, I'm looking for back tests to hold as support, and we see that playing through here. Now we do see a little bit of weakness in the RSI, but the day is young. We still have a lot of time left in today's candle, and with any closure on new all-time highs, I'll be looking for the exponential to breach back into the bullish control zone. Now we've seen that a little bit in the past and seen some pretty hefty rejections as a result. We do see an entry into the bullish control zone here, get rejected pretty swiftly, and then a re-entry right here, get rejected pretty swiftly. Another re-entry here, getting rejected pretty swiftly. So there is a little bit of rise of concern as far as this RSI structure is concerned from my perspective, is if we set new all-time highs on NASDAQ, again, I will be looking for pullbacks. I'm always looking for pullbacks, especially when Fibonacci extension levels are met. When those conditions are met, that's when I start saying, hey, these areas are areas of interest for continuation to the upside. I'm going to be looking for potential sell-offs at those regions. I'm not looking for something, market cycle ending here. I'm just looking for a pullback before potential continuation to the upside. Obviously, we have a lot of room to go from an RSI perspective to the upside before we see some nasty declines potentially in the future. But for now, again, continuation to the upside for NASDAQ is kind of how I'm biased right here. We'll go on to ES1 SPY. What do we see here? Testing all-time highs currently. Testing the all-time highs currently. I do like this continuation drive, this nice low. This could be classified as a macro low here, in my opinion. As far as the daily structure is concerned, basing off that green 55, we've seen that happen a few times before. Obviously, not closing, right on it, but we've seen plenty of back tests to that green 55 in the past. This was actually the Cyan 89. This one down to the green 55. Plenty of evidence to support that the green 55 proves to be a very significant moving average as far as setting in lows for the uptrend here. And a trend, it still remains. I'm actually aiming a little more towards continuation to new all-time highs. Now, if we see this level here broken, that's when I'm gonna re-enter my bias of thinking that upside continuation to the 1.272 Fibonacci zone is more likely, right around the 4280 region, maybe $4,300. And that's kind of where my next target to the upside would be, again, assuming that condition is met, and the condition being a candle closure above this all-time high, preferably on a higher than average volume. That would be nice, but we do see, at the end of the day, we do see a little bit of declining volume here from an average standpoint, which raises the concern that possibly the bulls are running out of steam here. We could see a little bit more of a massive correction long term in the future. I'm not saying anything like that could happen right now, and I actually don't have a time frame for when something like that's going to happen. Again, I just watched the technicals to get a general idea of where the tops and where the bottoms are. And right here, we have a clear bottom on the 55 with continuation drive back above all major moving averages here, forcing those moving averages back to a positive slope. I like it. I like the way this is structured right here. I do believe we do see a little bit of continuation here into new all-time highs, possibly even today. What do we see on stochastics here? Yeah, any continuation, even a closure like this will actually force stochastics here to tick back up. Now, that wouldn't necessarily force the exponential back to a positive. I think a new all-time high would more or less, closing on new all-time highs would more or less force back to a positive slope here. But again, that long 3-point structure would remain valid here. Not even a test of that structure here, but a little bounce off the neutral zone here back into the bullish control zone would be a very beautiful signal for potential continuation to again new all-time highs here. RSI again bouncing off of that long-term structure here with a lot of points on it, diagonal uptrend structure. forcing that exponential back to a positive slope, barely, but positive nonetheless. We do see a breach as well. So again, I'm looking for either major continuation to new all-time highs, or a rejection of that all-time high resistance and continuation to the downside. For now, that's where I'm going to leave SPY futures here. We'll move on to Dow Jones. This one's not convincing me of anything just yet. Yes, this is a nice low. Could it be a macro low? Maybe. Maybe. As far as the daily structure is concerned, we're not taking out this level here. We didn't see a drop all the way down to fucking $30,900. Below the 200 simple. So yeah, the theory of this being a higher low structure from a longer time frame standpoint is valid. But I am on lower high watch for this one. Why? Because the last high that we did see was put in right here, right at the all-time high resistance, 34,800. That's where we saw our high call, and that's where we basically saw our breakdown from that point. And a nice little bounce off the Cyan 89 to reclaim back above the green 55. I do like that. I do like that for continuation as well, especially seeing a nice bounce off of that big structure. Wow. We put this in. I didn't have extreme confidence that this was going to work, but look at that. It worked very nicely, and it will work very nicely again. This is unconfirmed still, but it will be confirmed with any more continuation from Dow Jones to the upside here, preferably back above the yellow 21 moving average here, and this resistance level here, 34,190, 34,200. If we do get that condition met, I will look for extension to this region here, 34,400. But again, beyond, I am on lower high watch. Any kind of stop and reversal on any of these resistances here likely identifies a lower high on the RSI, and I will be playing that as such. Again, we do have a very powerful negative exponential that's been playing out for quite some time here. We did see peaks, through it. That'll happen, but for the most part, we've seen a failure of that negative exponential. So as long as it remains negative, I am going to be looking for potential resistance upon testing any kind of resistance horizontal to the upside on price action. And again, if that condition is met, we see rejection, we see follow through, and we see a top call. It will be a lower high confirmed, and that will be the first lower high confirmed on Dow Jones in quite some time. Well, maybe you could consider this one a lower high, but we didn't see any downside continuation as a result. We actually saw pump back up, double top formation, dump. So the possibilities are limitless. Now, if we get a closure below the green 55, preferably I would be more conservative and say 33,800. Any closure below that region, I'm gonna start looking for continuation to the downside. Level by level. And the first level being 33,715, followed by 33,600 would kind of be my takeaway. And if we take out this region here, I think this is 33,715. I am going to be looking for a potential top call to start flagging itself on Caretaker's RSI. Whether it happens or not, that's what I'm going to be looking for. And as of now, we got the break above resistance here on yesterday's massive pump up. Seeing a little bit of continuation today. I don't like the candle formation. It does look like a little bit of a spinning top. Again, that's just you're trying to pull out as many points of evidence for both sides as possible and weighing out which one feels the best. And right now I'm pulling out a couple of bearish tendencies and a couple of bullish tendencies. Yes, the fact that we closed back above the green 55, I do have to say potential extension back to this resistance is very possible. But spinning top formation, while the RSI still remains below the exponential has a negative slope. Looking for lower highs right now, lower high watch. Again, any resistance, any downside price action, that's what I'm going to be looking for on Dow Jones. So as far as that one's concerned, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. Where are we going to move? I think I want to Dixie. A little bit of consolidation. Right now. Not too much else than that. The same principles apply. I guess I can move this support down a little bit lower. I don't know. Maybe create a little bit of a liquid zone. Does that line up with anything else? Yeah, it actually does. It does. And maybe this one's actually irrelevant now. We're going to go ahead and remove that. So we do see a nice little base of support. It does line up with this point here and maybe this point here. But not too many points prior to that. Not at least until maybe this region. Let's go ahead and look. No. No, it doesn't have that many points of relevance, to be quite honest with you, but I'm going to use it anyway, and I'm going to say this here. Any closure below this region here, 91 spot 68, I'm going to be looking for a full pullback all the way to this this high right here. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, so for the uptrend, I want to see a higher low. I want to see a higher low, and then I'll be like, yeah, okay, this isn't going to be this has a lower chance of being a lower high in the sleuth of lower highs that this asset has seen for months now. But the fact that we're holding structure right now leads me to believe that, yeah, maybe it's just a little bit of a pullback. RSI actually giving me a good signature here, bouncing off the positively sloped exponential. That exponential has broken into the bullish control zone. I do look at that more or less constructively here. And again, if we get a low call on this, I have no reason not to think that we're going to see extension past 92 spot 32, this prior high right here. It is a confirmed high. We did see that bearish engulfing candle right here, basically take this one out, but we didn't see extreme reactions to the downside as a result. We actually found support and confirmed support. So I'm going to be looking for the support to hold and continuation back to this region here, at the very least 92 spot 15, before I come back and start looking for targets past the prior high right now. And if we do see candle closures back above this prior high here, I'm going to be looking for extension all the way up to this region here, and maybe even this high here, 93 spot 30, give or take a few bucks. Stochastic's the only one showing me a little bit of concern here. Now again, nothing too crazy yet. We could easily see a swift bounce to the upside. That wouldn't be out of question. We still remain in the bullish critical zone on stochastics, but continuation to the downside with a breach into the bullish control zone, that's going to be telling me, hey, sell, hit the short button, see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So for now, that's where I'm going to leave Dixie. Nothing too exciting. Again, I do think a little bit of consolidation is warranted before possibly testing higher. This is an uptrend, and I'm going to be looking at this as an uptrend until the uptrend is to an end. Higher highs and higher lows along this, this little upside region here. Cup and handle? No, not a cup and handle. Where's my volume? Sorry, as I do these, I'm going to be looking for... There's no volume on this. I'm going to be looking for potential patterns, but Dixie doesn't have volume, so that doesn't really apply here. Okay, I think we're going to leave Dixie at that. I think it's time to move on to Mr. Bitcoin. I've been wanting to talk about Bitcoin for a minute here. And this is the question here. Is this a stop and reverse point for Bitcoin? Is this a macro high or low, or is this just a pity bounce before seeing price action continue to the downside? Only time and price action will tell. Now here's my theory. Here's what I was watching yesterday. I was watching this candle, major buy pressure, long wick. Saw that break of this low region here. Again, this is basically the last piece to resistance for Bitcoin before basically plummeting into the absolute depths of the crypto abyss. And basically, the principle still stands. Any kind of daily candle closure below 30,300, I'm going to be looking for major moves all the way back down to 26,500 first and foremost. As the very likely the macro bear market for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies ensues here, but for now, it's a high. It's technically a higher low in conjunction with this higher low. Now, will this turn into a macro bullish uptrend? Who knows? Who knows? For now, I'm paying attention to the levels that I have in front of me. The first level that I'm paying attention to is right here. Get that level lined up. 34,500. We'll just call it 34,600. Any candle closure above 34,600 likely gets the continuation extension. Turn that down. It's fucking loud. The continuation extension, at the very least, to these moving averages here. The red 10 simple, yellow 21, converging right around 36,400. Maybe even a little higher to this region here. Wouldn't be out of the question to see. But again, with the way Bitcoin is performing, with the legitimate downtrend that we are seeing right now, I'm still going to be wearing those bearish goggles. Any price action to the upside that gets majorly rejected here, especially with a lower high call, is going to be massively bearish. We did see new lows printed on Bitcoin. Now, yes, Again, that last low right back here that was set the 26th of January, that is the last relevant low that I am looking at in price action. If we take this region out here, I'm gonna be looking for pullbacks deep. I think the possibilities for how far this could come down are endless. But for now, it's a low. It is a low call. For my own technical analysis rules, I do have to look for a continuation drive, but we still have a lot of time in the day to see this region potentially reject to the downside. And if we do see rejection below 33,300, I am going to be looking at this more or less as a pity bounce as a result of this downside movement here. And a pity bounce usually results in much further decline for Bitcoin here. So. Not too much else to report here. We do see stochastics, a little bit of hidden bullish divergence here playing out. We actually got 3 drives. That's a little confidence boosting if you're a bull here. But again, I want to see major levels taken out to the upside, and I want to see new highs being printed. This is our last high here. At the very least, before I get back to that, all right, we're seeing a potential reversal here. We need to see candle closures back above 40,600 at the very least. That's directly in correlation with the purple 200 moving average here. Closures above that would warrant a move all the way back up to around $45,000. But hindsight's 2020. That's not what I'm looking at. What I'm looking at here, we're seeing a bounce. We're seeing a little bit of a bounce. I want to see how the bounce plays out before I make any specific calls. But again, my gut's saying down. We printed a new low. We are in the midst of a downtrend. We had what we thought was a bear trap, bull trap, whatever, fake out. This was a fake out, and it played out as a fake out to the downside, printing new lows, and that, in my opinion, is massively bearish as fuck. But point for the bulls here, we got that stop and reverse point, potential stop and reverse point on high volume. So that's something that I'm looking at, higher than average volume on this down, stop, boom, come back up. But the principles still stand. We're looking at any resistance to be met with resistance until proven otherwise. So for Bitcoin, that's how I'm looking at it. Stochastics still declining to the downside, showing a little bit of weakness, obviously, but pointing down nonetheless. Momentum, in my opinion, is swinging to the downside. That's how I'm looking at Bitcoin. We got two consecutive closures below the blue 377. Seeing price action now recover above it. Not a bad thing. Again, this is an unconfirmed low call, and it will be unconfirmed until at least we close above $33,330 on a daily candle closing basis. Anything below that will not flag this low call, and it won't be a low. It'll actually be a rejection of resistance once again, and I'll be looking for downside extensions back down to $30,200, potentially even lower. If we close a daily candle closure below $30,200, I'm going to be looking for massive extension all the way down to $26,500, and that's where I'm going to leave Bitcoin. That's what I'm confident with speaking. That's how I'm planning my own trades a little bit. Just give you a little insight of what I'm doing. I am currently looking for resistance until proven otherwise. So that's where I'm going to leave Bitcoin. I think I'm going to go hit up the requests. No viewers. What am I doing wrong? I am streaming at freaking midnight. Peloton. Peloton Interactive Incorporated. Ooh. Yeah, it's an uptrend, that's for sure. But is it change of behavior? Not necessarily. Not looking for change of behavior yet. I've actually done some analysis. We actually got a nice pump off that green 55 moving average here today. Price action basically, oh man, Neary. Barely averted that death cross. Oh boy. Barely averted that death cross. We got to break above this resistance here at 112. We'll just call it 113 here. Printing a new high. Again, is this change of behavior? No, not in my perspective. Yes, we are in an uptrend, but I'm looking for structural highs to be taken out here. And this is the last structural high, which is a lower high in conjunction with these highs over here. I'm looking for this region to be taken out before I'm like, yup, this is going to be this is going to be boom into the upside here. But for now, we're seeing a little bit of a confirmed test of the white 200 simple. Not a rejection, just a close below it. I do think there is enough fuel in the tank for the bulls to drive this past and look for a test of this resistance here, 123.40. Looking at the stochastics here, this could be a very nice rejection in the middle of the neutral zone here. Again, I want to see the stochastics cross with continuation to the upside. I don't want to see that exponential flatten out and being forced to the upside. Nice read here. RSI, boom. Oh man, rejection. Boom, force it. Oh man, that's beautiful. Nice little low call here, forcing the exponential back to the positive slope here. Nice penetration into the bullish control zone, printing a new high on RSI. I like that read. I like when the RSI prints new highs here. The next high that basically is relevant here is this one that was printed on the 27th of May. Again, I'll be looking for continuation on this one to the upside. It does look juicy. What does long term look like? I mean, 2 counts. Ooh, fuck. Gunshot or firework. I don't know if y'all heard that, but something just popped real loud outside. This is an asset. I don't think it has very much history, but again, from a long-term perspective, be on the lookout for lower highs. We did see a structural lower low being printed, but if we see a new high being printed, that is more or less a sign of reversal, especially on a weekly here. And I would have to switch my bias from a little bit bearish right now to a little more bullish. Again, from the daily perspective, I am bullish. I do think extension to the upside is warranted here. It is more probable to see price action pump to the upside than to the downside, especially with this full body green candle closure here. But if we reject here, and close a lower high on the weekly, it'll just be a long-term downtrend continuation, in my opinion. A little bit of a fake out, that wouldn't be out of the question. Momentum oscillators on the weekly do look pretty okay. Again, it doesn't have that much history. I want to be able to pull it out and see what's up, what the hubbub is. But weekly has a positive exponential. We've seen the weekly RSI pull back a few times, test that positive exponential, and continue onwards and upwards. So if this does want to print a new high, anything above $120 on a weekly candle closing basis would be very, very, very powerful, in my opinion, for this asset to see continuation to the upside. How old is this asset? To be honest with you, how old is it? Came out in 2019, so it has a little bit of history. I am a little more comfortable providing some analysis on this. We do have all the moving averages here, except for we have a brand new 377 printing on price action here. When did this appear? The 26th of March. So again, while this one has a lot more history, I still have to bring up err on the side of caution. If you're taking any of my advice. Not advice. Any of my analysis as advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't misconstrue my words. I'll kill you. But if you're like, hey man, he's got a point. I think he's right. I'm going to play this move, blah, blah, blah. You have to err on the side of caution, again, as we could potentially see a structural lower high in formation here for this asset. And if that is confirmed from a weekly standpoint, this would be looking mighty, mighty bearish. And I would be looking for new lows long term if that condition is met. But for now, I'm looking for continuation. I'm hopeful for this one. Any continuation above 123.50 is going to be massively, massively bullish, in my opinion. That's where I'll leave this one. Piton. What's the next one? BBIG. Venco Ventures Incorporated. So we got a little bit of continuation. Not enough, but continuation nonetheless. This is an uptrend. The trend is your friend until the end of the trend, and as of now, we do have a little bit of resistance meeting that prior high structure here, right around 5.30. Any closure above that, obviously going to be printing new highs. I'd look for massive extension all the way up to $6, and that's kind of like our last point of resistance. If we break that region, I mean, it's blue fucking sky. You know what? I think we're close enough to actually go ahead and get the fib levels marked off here. Let's see what we got. Boom. I think that's right. Any closure above $6, and I'll extend targets to the upside near $7. 6 spot 75. Close enough is close enough. That'd be the first target, assuming we see new all-time highs. That would be my first target for continuation. RSI on the daily looking pretty positive here, maintaining that uptrend structure here, forcing the exponential back to a positive slope. It's still the very beginning of that positive slope, but nonetheless, we have a breach into the bullish control zone here. I am looking for continuation as a result, and again, it is very possible that we see new all-time high or new highs, not new all-time highs. I mean, you can classify it as new all-time highs because this didn't close on an all-time high. Technically, this structure is all-time highs. So basing a nice structural low here off the yellow 21, bouncing all the way through up. Again, a closure above this region is gonna lead me to believe that we're gonna see new all-time highs. That'd be the results. I would be even safe to say if we close above 5 spot 30, 1 spot 272 would be a likely target for continuation to the upside. Again, this one, while it doesn't have that much history, and I don't feel really comfortable, providing analysis with something that doesn't have too much history, we are in an uptrend. We do have an uptrend confirmed right now, and for the better part of this uptrend, I'm looking for continuation until proven otherwise. And that proof otherwise would be a candle closure below this low right here, 3 spot 93, 3 spot 92 or something like that. Let's get a little closer look. What would that be exactly? 3 spot 95. Anything below 3 spot 95, I would be saying, hey, new lows are printing on this asset. The structure has changed. We have a daily change of behavior. I'm going to be looking for downside targets, but we do not have a change of behavior, and until proven otherwise, I'm going to be looking for more upside on this asset. Let's go ahead and move on. Wish. What? Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, what a beautiful day. I'm just wanting to make some money. Funny story. Went to work today. Went to meet my boss. Had a little meeting, and I threw this on the table. And she said something about my water bottle being so big, and I said, "Yep." And then I opened it, took a chug, and I said, "It's filled with vodka." She knew it wasn't. Okay, let's go ahead. Context logic incorporated. Ooh, doji style candlestick closure. This is a sign of indecision here. Anytime you get a candle closure like this, there's indecision in the market. Green or red, it doesn't matter. It's a doji style candlestick. It looks more like a long-legged doji style candlestick. And anytime you get a doji style candlestick, if we're going off of base analysis, just candles only, that is a sign of reversal here. Again, a sign of reversal with the direction not being implied. But what does the momentum oscillators tell me here? Breach into the bullish control zone here, positive exponential. I'm still looking for more upside, to be quite honest with you. We do see a little bit of negativity, a little bit of a back test. Would not be out of the question. Even all the way down to the green 55 and back up wouldn't be out of the question. When's the last low that we set? Right here. I think it's safe to say that marking that off is important here. This is a breakout formation, in my opinion. It looks. I don't like the candle. I don't like the rejection, and I don't like the candle. But again, reversal is never implied here. So, stochastics breaching into the bullish control zone, not quite yet, but getting close here, bouncing off the lower end of the neutral zone. This is what I see. It looks like shit. This is the target, ultimately. This is the target that we need to be focused on as far as the stock is concerned. Any candle closure above 15 spot 40 will be enough for me to say, hey, we got change of behavior. That much is evident. Pivot point, right? We're looking for a pivot point here to be taken out. And basically, on this downside decline, we saw this stop and reverse point here, and this stop and reverse point here before continuing down, stop and reverse. and then a little bit of this shit here. So if we see a stop in reverse, it's just going to be a little bit more concerning in my opinion. I want to see closures above 15 spot 35. First and foremost, again, on a daily candle closing basis, before I'm convinced of massive bullish potential to the upside. For now, we're in between two levels here, so seeing consolidation between Cyan 89 and Green 55 wouldn't be out of the question. Seeing a pullback to the Green 55 wouldn't be out of the question. But the way that this is postured, if I was trading this, again, not enough history, not enough confidence, but if I was trading this as a day trader, I would actually be looking for more upside, to be quite honest with you. We don't really know what's going on with the indecision here. All we do know is that this is indecision in the market, and likely a reversal style candlestick comes next as a result. So will it be to the upside? Will it be to the downside? Only time will tell. But if it is to the upside, I really want to see 1540 being broken. And if it's to the downside, anything closing below 11 spot 75, a move down further to 10 spot 95 would be warranted. And maybe likely even a move all the way down to 9 spot 95. But as far as that one's concerned, again, not enough history, but big volume here. No volume on the downside, big volume to the upside, increasing volume more so. So, everything points to more up, to be quite honest with you, but that critical level is what I'm looking at for right now. I want to see that critical level broken before I'm like, okay, we actually have a change of behavior with something different's going on in this market. Something new is happening, yada, yada, yada. So that's where I'm going to leave that one. What's next? AHT. Toppy. It's a top. It's a top, man. This is one of those bad shit charts here. I mean, it's had decent price action, a couple of uptrends in its life. It's not a complete worthless stock, but this is one of those ones that's just too choppy for me to be involved with. For now, we do have an uptrend. That much is confirmed. Did we take out a low? We did take out a low, but is this a structural low? No, not really. It's a low nonetheless. We do see a change of behavior. We do see new lows being printed on this. We saw this recovery off the purple 200 moving average here yesterday above the yellow 21, and then we basically got a down open as a result below that yellow 21 and closing below that support level here. So this was not flipped into new tentative support. It was actually still confirmed as resistance here, and that actually opens up the argument for more potential downside price action here. The next level to be aware of right now is the Green 55, right along with the $4 region, and Momentum Oscillators paints a very decent picture as far as that being a higher probability. We do see stochastics entering the bearish control zone more significantly here, and the exponential getting closer and closer to entering that zone as well. Momentum is definitely down. RSI, negative exponential, has broken through the bullish control zone. RSI has broken this structure here. I was looking to see if this structure would hold. It didn't. That is not valid. Any kind of spike up on RSI would definitely prove to be valid, but that's hindsight. We don't know where this RSI is going just yet. So I guess I'll just leave that here. But continuation is what I see. A breach below the bullish neutral zone here into the bearish neutral zone. It has strength to the downside, and to the downside, I will be looking for a move all the way down to $4 coming in whenever it decides to come in. As long as we're below this support level here, that's going to be the target. But any candle closure back above the 4 spot 92 region, I have no reason not to think that this won't test 5 spot 70, 5 spot 69, something like that. Upside momentum is what we're looking for here, and we do not have upside momentum in my opinion. We have actually a really nasty top taking out the prior low here and basically confirming a change of behavior. And we're starting to see these moving averages flatten out a little bit more on every tick that happens. It flattens out a little bit more. And until we get positive price action, I'm going to be looking for downside continuation on this one. What's next? GSAT. Ooh, I already did AHT, so I only got 2 more. GSAT. Is this a shit chart? Never heard of it. Global Star. New York Stock Exchange ARCA. Wow. Yeah, the condition that we were looking for has been met. Okay. So let's analyze. What do we see? We see stochastics with a nice little uptrend structure, basically just coiling around a little bit in continuation to the upside, breaching through the bearish control zone into the neutral zone. I'd like to see the exponential do the same. RSI. This is where it's a little concerning. This is where it's a little bit concerning. RSI is already really extended here, really extended, crossing through that that negatively sloped exponential. Did we just get continuation off of that? We did. We saw that bounce off the negative exponential, cross through that negative exponential, forcing it back to a positive stature here. Basically basing, oh man, off the neutral zone here. Very, very positive here. I have no reason not to think that this won't continue to the upside. Maybe we see a little bit of a pullback, cool down on momentum oscillators to test new tentative support right here. That wouldn't be out of the question to see this fall all the way back down to $1.65 before testing new support and bouncing clear above it. But we technically took out, maybe there's two arguments here. We can pull back to this region here at $1.75 or to $1.65. One of those two moves to the downside is very possible. This is a very strong move. We saw a 23% gain on this one today. So again, with moves that powerful, it's not out of the question to see a little bit of pullback to test support before launching off. But the fact that we met that condition and took out some resistance levels, I'm going to be looking for extension all the way back up to 2.57, 2.60 first and foremost. Now that's where a little bit of rise of concern it comes into play. Is this a change of behavior? Absolutely, yes. This is an uptrend, and an uptrend is in continuation. But this is a major target here for resistance here. But the way the momentum is set up here, except for the RSI is a little concerning. It's bullish. Don't get me wrong. We can see some correlation, for the bullish perspective. We can see it start coiling and continuing further to the upside. But the fact that we got so extended, it's only naturally for me to think that a pullback wouldn't be out of the question here from a daily perspective. So continuation to the prior high. That's kind of my next target medium term here. So yeah, unless we pull back and just completely reverse it and take out the low of this candle here at $1.60, I'm gonna be convinced of upside price action. If we do get that condition, closure below $1.60. Pull back all the way to the support at $1.35 is going to be my next target to the downside. But we're getting really big volume, really significant volume on uptrend continuation, while momentum oscillators are showing a bullish posturing here, forcing all major moving averages to a positive slope. I have no choice. It's my rules. It's written in my handbook as a rule. It's an uptrend with upside continuation. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking for more continuation for this one. Not bad, GSAT. IDRA. What the fuck is this? Oh my god. Oh, sweet mother of Jesus, hit the red button! Just press the red button! Just short the shit out of it. Is that a cup and handle? What did I learn? High volume on the left side. Decreasing volume. Handle. Boom. Alright, I got a challenge for y'all. If y'all see this part of the video, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Please tick that little bell. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. It helps us grow. It helps me learn. Yada, yada, yada. But in the comment section below, tell me if this looks like a weekly cup and handle formation to you. Because if so, there could be some potential. That's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong. Because it doesn't look like a cup and handle on the daily. But what do we see? Absolute reversal here. A change of behavior, most definite from a daily perspective. I'm actually going to be looking for continuation on this one, all the way up to the Cyan 89. Look at that fucking RSI. That is gross. That is gross negligence here. Negative exponential obviously didn't prove to be very effective, except on this first resistance drive here. Higher low confirmed. Boom. This is an uptrend structure from an RSI perspective. Continuation would not be out of the question in this formation. The formation starts here on the 11th of May and has been continuing to new highs and new lows. This pump up with significant volume. That's a... Oh, okay, it just didn't load. Alright. Well, you can see, in comparison to all this volume here, all that volume here, this is clearly extreme volume here. This could be a breakout, very, very evidently. We do see an uptrend structure on stochastics. Stochastics basically rejecting the top side of the bearish control zone, pointing back up. I want to see a cross. I want to see continuation, but I do believe that the continuation is a result of this very disgusting looking move here. What was the percent? 41% on IDRA here. Does it have more? I do think so. I don't really have too many levels actually laid out. I don't have any levels. What's that? Reaccumulation? Yeah, a little accumulation phase here would be the next level to really start paying attention to as far as horizontal support and resistances are concerned. Anything above that, boom. There's your next horizontal target right there. Boom. There's your next horizontal target right there. Boom. There's another good horizontal target right there. Continuation up to this region. First and foremost, from a horizontal perspective, 1 spot 71 is what I want to see. Any closure above there, I'll extend targets to the upside above 1 spot 82. But to be realistic, to be honest, I am looking for extension overall to the Cyan 89 first and foremost. Maybe we see this absolutely disgusting move continue on into tomorrow here. We did see extreme volume on this one, so not too much to go off of other than that. Again, this is a really, really bad chart, to be quite honest with you. It has uptrends, don't get me wrong, it has uptrends, but the way it fails is just absolutely violent and catastrophic. So, I mean, all of this is basically a downtrend, except for right here, we got an uptrend, downtrend, 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 down, down, up, a little bit of up, a little sideways, down, 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 into the abyss. Oh, an uptrend? Just kidding, fuck you, down. So for the medium-term structure, from the daily perspective, I do see potential reversal in play here. We're starting to take out moving averages here. Nasty gap down. I don't know what happened with this pharmaceutical company here, but really nasty move to the downside. Coronavirus dump times, high or low structure technically? No, not at all. These are perfectly lined up. Yeah, I mean, for now, I'd look for continuation, to be quite honest with you. That's the evidence that's given me. We got a closure above the green 55. Momentum oscillators are starting to point back up, especially the RSI. But the RSI, again, is a volume, is based off of volume and price action. So with that increasingly strengthy size of volume here, it's only natural to expect the RSI to react according to the amount of volume and the price action. So upside, I think this does have a little more to go. I want to see how this one plays out. So keep requesting this one. And I think that's going to do everything I want for the stream. Please, again, if you guys like the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tick that little bell. I'm going to get off here. I'm going to go ahead and get back to my own trading and my own studies. And until next time, you guys stay